Hi everybody. Hello. Good morning. It's Christmas morning here, which means that it'll be Boxing Day for you, depending on where you are, or it'll just be December 26th, another day. I think some people end Vlogmas here. I think that some people, this is their last one, the Christmas one, but I'm going to go all the way through to the end of the year because honestly, for me, while it's been really nice coming back to Kelowna and seeing my parents and wandering around, and while today I'm going to get to see my brother and his girlfriend and my grandpa and some more of my family, for me, the real holiday celebration this year is going to be on New Year's, because on New Year's, Tyson and Emily and Heather and Blue Jay and I are all going to get a chance to hang out. Not necessarily all together, but in the period after Christmas, leading up to the end of the year, I'm going to get to see all those people that I really like, and I'm really excited about that. So yeah, we've still got about a week left on Vlogmas, and I've got 2 more days here in Kelowna. Yesterday was really fun getting to walk around and see all of the stuff that I was remembering from my childhood, but I forgot one very important place, and I'm going to try to get there tomorrow. It's open all day, so maybe on the 27th you're going to get to see Scandia Golf and Games. Scandia is that most beautiful childhood establishment that combines pizza parties, animatronic robots. I think theirs are shaped like monkeys, because it's got kind of a jungle theme, but on the outside it's themed like a Viking. Well, you'll see it. But it's the video arcade I hung out at as a kid, where I mastered my skills at Mortal Kombat 2. The only arcade game I was ever good at. So we're going to go there, hopefully tomorrow, and try to check it out. Maybe play some mini golf. We'll see. We'll see who I can wrangle up to do this with, because God knows I can't go by myself. So the rest of my day is just going to be hanging out at home, doing Christmas stuff. We don't really have any specific Christmas traditions around here. I mean, I got up at 8 o'clock and I spent an hour in bed reading, and it's just me and my mom and dad. Right now. My grandpa and my brother and his girlfriend are showing up later, so we'll hang out and have dinner. There'll be turkey, but I don't know. We've never really, like, even as a kid, we never really had particular like traditions, like specific family stuff that we did. I think we did the usual, like, you know, get up early Christmas morning and open presents, and sometimes we would do it at home, sometimes at our family's houses. We moved around a lot, so. Yeah, I don't have any particular thing that I'm doing today besides just hanging out and relaxing and trying to chill out, trying to take a vacation. So we'll see what other video I get. Like I said, I'd love to do something with my brother. We'll see. I don't really have a plan for today, so I'm just going to go and relax by listening to a podcast. So I hope that your day is going well and that you're having a relaxing time, that your winter holiday is a holiday. And if it's not, I don't know, try to take some time today. Take some time for you in the spirit of the season, which is to say, eat too much and lay around. So yeah, I've just been recording like little bits and pieces over the last month, and I figured I keep telling people I have a brother.
You should probably prove it.
I posted a picture on Twitter the other day of me and Tyson, and a bunch of people were like, "Is that your brother?"
Is it him?
I'm like, no, just all Canadians look the same.
Yeah.
We're all identical.
He goes to a different school.
This is my actual brother. This is Cory. Cory. He's my little brother. And I've known him for his whole life.
Pretty much the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. I always, when people marvel at how long I've been playing D&D, I'm like, honey, you don't even know. When I was 10, Cory was 6.
Literally forever.
Yeah, literally forever. We lived together for as long as I lived in Kelowna, and then again for like 2 years?
2 or 3.
Yeah, in Vancouver. Like yeah. And I always tell people on the internet, they're like, you know, why do you like streaming? Or like, why is that something fun for you? And I'm like, oh, it's exactly the same as playing video games with my little brother. Where like, he's on the couch with the manual being like, Adam, press the B button. Just hit, it's not hard, it's a B button. I'm like, I'm trying, I'm doing it. So whenever I think of video games and role-playing games, I think about like learning them and playing them together. I drove past Matt's old house. Remember our neighbor Matt who had the Sega Genesis?
I do, yeah.
And I was thinking about his Dark Sun campaign, where for some reason one of the playable races was the Predator from the Predator movie.
Of course it was.
Right, yeah, because
when you're like 13, what's better? How can you not improve on Dark Sun?
He really liked Wu-Tang and Predators and Dark Sun. Those were his 3 favorite things. It's a good brand. But I was trying to remember like our very, very first like D&D games and our characters. And I was trying to think about, you had a character who was like a halfling.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
I do.
He was like a halfling thief. Do you remember his name?
He was unashamedly named Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Was not.
And then...
I was like 7, so I could not possibly care less.
Right. But he was... The funny thing about Bilbo Baggins was that he was dressed like a superhero.
He was, yeah. I remember being very particular about the yellow gloves. I don't know why. I would assume Wolverine.
I'm so glad you remember that, because there's so many of these memories.
Definitely my first RPG memory, for sure.
Yeah, there's so many of these memories that I'm like, am I making this up? Yeah. So what I like about Bilbo is that later I think either I was giving you shit or you realized you couldn't name your character Bilbo, so you changed his name to Bannon Baggins, because Bannon was the old man in Final Fantasy VI. It was very brief, I think, before he died. And we used to play D&D like a lot, just like 2-player. And I remember, and this is something that I think is still totally true of RPGs, every time I would mention anything, you would assume it was important. So your inventory was just full of like handful of sand and like bag of rocks.
Well, you wouldn't have described it if it wasn't going to be important later.
Right, yeah. Yeah, but I think when I think about like us playing role-playing games together, I think about that game of Shadowrun that we played. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
And do you remember your character at all?
Bits and pieces.
You're
talking about Man-O-Man?
Man-O-Man, yeah. Right? And his whole goal was to own an urban brawl team.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and we played for like a year or a year and a half, and I guess like I was probably like 16 or 17. It was like right before I moved out. And so we were both like grown up enough that we were playing like a serious game like Shadowrun.
Or at least what we thought was at the time.
Yeah, and I remember at the end the epilogue of Man-O-Man owning
He made it.
He owns his own urban brawl team. Yeah. So they're re-releasing Resident Evil 2.
Yep.
There's like an HD version of it.
I saw that.
And I really want to play it with you. I really want to like stream it, because that I remember very fondly like playing that game in the basement of our like second house maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember which one, but
it came out because it came out for PlayStation 1 like a year or two into the PS1's like lifespan.
Yeah, it was relatively early. But they had kind of figured their shit out by then. Yeah,
it wasn't really not. I don't think I played RE1 at all, actually.
No, we never had it.
Yeah. But then after that, we got a CD burner, and then we owned every PlayStation 1 game.
I distinctly remember the cabinet under the TV.
I feel like we had a conversation about, like, this is getting out of hand when we rented and burned the Xena Warrior Princess game.
Just for completion?
Just because we had to have it.
We had the CD, and we were like, well, we're already in Blockbuster, so...
Yeah, that was like a regular weekend thing. On like a Friday night, we would go and we would rent like 2 or 3 PS1 games.
Yeah, they do the like 3 games for $10 or whatever.
Yeah, and then
it got pretty slim pickings by the end.
And Mom and Dad would be like, "Why are you renting so many at once? Like, you'll never play all of them." We were like, "Don't worry, we got this." Yeah.
The CD I'm burning it to was 70 cents, so...
Yeah,
it'll
exactly.
be all right.
Yeah, we bought them at Costco and burnt all these games. I remember when we got our PS1, we got the system, and we got Crash Bandicoot, and we got Final Fantasy VII, but we did not have a memory card.
No, I believe because we got it like pretty much right away. Yeah. Nobody had them in stock.
Well, we got it the Christmas it came out, so that would have been like 22 years ago, like almost to the day.
Yeah.
22 years ago, we would have been playing Final Fantasy VII and then leaving the TV.
Leaving it on when we went to school.
Leaving the TV on for like a full week while we waited for Sears to get the memory cards in.
I remember we had a couple of false starts where the power would cycle or Mom hit the power cord with the vacuum or something.
Turn the PlayStation off.
That did happen. But speaking of Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
I have a particularly fond memory of that game because the first time I played it was by myself in the dark.
Right.
And it was, what, 10?
Yeah, if it was 22 years ago,
it would have been
like
9 or 10.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time when the liquor comes across the ceiling and drops down, I literally turned the console off. I got up, I hit the power button, I was like, nope, that's it. We're done here.
Oh, baby's first rage quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. And we kind of talk about this because we have a cousin who is like one more generation younger than us, and not physical generation, but console generation. And that's how we define, like, because my first my first system was Nintendo, and Cory's was the Super Nintendo, and then Riley kind of came in around like N64 era, and so we have this lineage of like, what's the first game you remember?
Time.
Yeah, because with Riley, I remember playing a ton of like Smash and GoldenEye. And like that generation, but I felt like we were like adults by the time the PS1 was out.
Or at least veterans.
Remember we bought that PS2 and GTA 3, and we would like play it after school on the upstairs TV until mom and dad got home, and we like unplug it and take it downstairs because we were not allowed. I don't know if you had this experience as a child, but we were not allowed to plug our video game systems into the big TV.
No, you'd wreck it.
Yeah, you'd wreck it, exactly. Yeah, and when I say big TV, it's like a cathode ray TV that was like maybe like 24
inches. Yeah, it was like 24 instead of 20.
You're right. Yeah, in a big wooden cabinet. There's a photo that I found in Mama showed me the book. It's that same book that I found the awesome photo of us from Drumheller with the Raptors jacket or the Hornets jacket on. So there's a photo in there.
Sports teams we didn't know a single thing about.
So the funny thing
outside of NBA Jam,
of course. Right. So in that photo, which you can find on my Twitter, Cory is wearing an Anaheim Mighty Ducks jacket. Yeah. Which is badass because that team did not exist until like that's a first run jacket, and I'm wearing a Charlotte Hornets jacket, and not because I liked basketball, but because we liked the Mighty Ducks movie, and I had played a lot of NBA Jam, and I had gotten sick of my Chicago Bulls jacket, and I had moved. I was like, the Hornets are better, Mom. Listen, I know.
If I recall correctly, those were the two power teams in NBA Jam.
If you played anyone else, you were a fool.
It's true.
That was it.
Scrub tier.
It was
if you weren't.
That's right. It was those two teams. Yeah. Yeah, and we we played. So like for me, a lot of like family video game memories were like Super Nintendo era. Like playing like Final Fantasy VI was my game, and Final Fantasy IV was your game. And like talking about which one was better and why,
Endlessly.
and we shared. So I can't remember. Did you have your own Game Boy, or did we share the Game Boy? Because I remember we shared the games.
I think the original Game Boy we shared one.
Yeah, I think we shared them because I remember we had two by the time Pokemon came out. Because you had blue and I had red. But before that, so we shared, and so what would happen, and this is what happens when it's 1990 and your younger brother is playing your Game Boy games, I would get halfway through like Final Fantasy Legend, and then I'd pick it up to play, and I'd be like, why is my save game back at level 2, Cory?
Why am I level 2 and named Butts?
Yeah, what happened? Why is my team all robots? What's going on? And Cory's just like, but I like robots. Yeah, lots of like that happening. But you know what? It's hard mode. That's how you do it. You have a sibling and you have them overwrite your save games.
You just get really good at the first like 3 hours of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So I was looking through these photos that Mom and Dad have, and there's a picture. This is so good. There's a picture of us at Christmas looking very excitedly at a handful of Wyvern cards, which is like, it's not even Magic. No. It's like a Magic ripoff card game from the 90s about dragons. And we were just like, yes, Magic is dumb and lame. This is the new cool game.
Why play Magic when you can have some dragons?
Yeah, right, exactly.
If you can play Wyvern and it's nothing but dragons.
It's all dragons, yeah. And then
cutting out all the extra shit.
Yeah, and then we played
straight to the dragons.
We played Rage for a little while. I think you remember that one, and it was all
that was
the White Wolf, the werewolf one, and all of the cards are like, here's a picture of someone getting their legs ripped off.
Oh, it's so badass.
So badass and cool. I've gone on to focus mainly on RPGs and coming out with Dungeon World and stuff, and you're mainly playing miniatures games these days.
Yeah, right? I was gonna say a couple years, but it's been like 8 or 10.
It's been 8 or 10. Yeah, but time slips away.
It does. Yeah, no, that's been kind of my jam lately.
Yeah. You went to like a tournament or whatever recently? It was like in Vegas or something?
Yeah, I went to LVO last year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but
that's cool. What army are you playing?
I just played Malifaux. That.
Okay. That's a different game. Because when I played War Machine, it was like just the one game. It was like War Machine, and there was like 4 armies. There was the Blue Lightning guys, and there was the White Religious dudes. Yeah. And hordes hadn't come out, and like none of that stuff. So for me, my understanding.
Yeah, because when I think Mark II was just coming out when I was living in Vancouver with you.
Yes.
Which would have been when
you were playing 40K at that time.
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Malifaux was something else entirely.
Yeah.
But
right. Oh yeah, that's right. It's not by Privateer. It's like a different game.
Yeah, it's by Weird down in southern U.S. somewhere.
They always have really cool booths at cons.
Yes, it's a super stylish setting.
Yeah.
They do a lot of cool stuff that nobody else is really doing,
That's cool.
which is always good.
Miniature games and board games are the like gap in my nerd stuff because they require you being physically in a place and like having time to like prep the thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm only getting to back into Magic now is because of Arena. Like there's just this
if you had to deal with physical cards,
go
then
and buy
forget it.
things, and like I just don't have time to go, and plus I can stream it. But there have been some pretty good. So I play. I used to play RPGs with Jeff Robinson, who's like a big Warhammer guy, and him and some of his friends have been like kind of building up a channel around like streaming Warhammer tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up the last
super
4 or
cool.
5 years now. I mean, a lot of the bugs have been worked out in terms of pacing and camera work and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because if
Which
you
can be
don't,
tricky.
if you don't do it right, it's just like awkward shots.
You're
of
just staring
people's
at dudes' arms
and
for
then
4
then
hours.
guys talking passive aggressively at each other about rulers. Like it's not.
It's because of the time frame of most of those games. It's not really a spectator sport.
Sure.
No one's gonna watch a 4-hour game of Warhammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, measuring
From moment to moment. It's not interesting to anyone but the 2 guys at the table.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of like esports is like that. It's like finding the fun in it and then broadcasting.
Finding a way to translate that to people who aren't physically there,
right?
or
And
invested
having
in the actual.
Yeah, and having the right casters and right personalities.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah, totally.
But
Yeah,
that's taken off. I mean, like anything else, people are looking for stuff to stream, and they're finding ways to make that work.
Yeah, it's super cool seeing D&D and miniatures games, and like now like all these people are getting excited about Magic who hadn't played it before. It's super neat getting excited because I've been like I remember playing Magic on the floor of the basement or the ping pong table. We play tested 3rd edition D&D. I remember we had a big orange binder. Yeah, it was 3rd edition. Remember, because they brought the monk back, and like you could call demons again.
Yeah,
because for a long time they were like other thing.
Let's not make some enemies.
Yeah.
With that, let's change it to something else.
Yeah, we played D&D in probably the worst part of D&D's history.
Yeah.
Like there were so many bad books during like late 2nd edition. But yeah, it was
good,
cool.
bad, but bad.
Right, good, bad, but bad. Yeah. Books that at the time, because we were nerds, we were like, we're not nerds now though. We're better.
No.
We got over.
Yeah.
But books that were like, oh, cool, 4 whole books about Sahuagin. Hooray! Finally.
To this day, though, my favorite supplement is. Do you remember that weapons guide?
Oh, the arms and equipment guide. Yeah.
I remember reading that on car trips and stuff, and just reading about. Bec de Corbin.
Right. If you
and the glaive Guisarme.
Yeah, if you didn't know this, you need a 186-page book about weapons and and pythons and crampons and
all vital equipment.
Right. Yeah. Exactly for dungeoneering.
The best part was too is that because D&D doesn't do very varied weapons.
Right.
They're all identical.
Right.
It's like, this one's a die 10 with a crits on a 20. This one's also a die 10 and crits on a 20.
How many swords do you need that do like 1d8 damage? Like it was like it's a short sword or a gladius or whatever, and there were just different names for the same stuff. Yeah. There were a few of those. They were like a faux leather. There was like the ninja's handbook and the elf's handbook, and like psionics were like a thing in that, which you had to have if you were going to play in Dark Sun with predators and also the Wu-Tang.
How are you going to beat the predator without
psionic powers? Yeah, exactly. Because you can't beat Danny Glover.
I mean, if you don't have mud, what are you going to do? It's Dathis, so there's no shit out of luck. Can't cover yourself in dust.
Too dry, right? Silk mask. Just hide under it.
It's not gonna fly. They'll spot you.
Yeah. So So this is my brother. Basically everything about my formative gaming life and experience involves Cory in some serious way. So it's really nice. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know.
And it's really nice to see you again. And we're going to try to go to the arcade tomorrow. We're going to try to go to the shitty arcade where we learned how to play NBA Jam, and we'll see what's up. It's probably not going to be very impressive, but we'll see. We'll go try it out. But right now we got Christmas family stuff to do, so we're going to go do that. Thanks. Thanks for
My
being
pleasure.
on the vlog.